So next up we have the opportunity to get one Jagamaru-kun. So the perspective apparently moved to that of Bet and Lafia. And we are still battling the black typhoons. Probably with a higher health. Yeah, their health is slightly higher. But the thing I'm wondering about is when will we reach a point where we need to collect a particular number of items before we can move on? If there isn't, then I would say it's quite the unique event that we have here, which I think it really is that way. And the interesting thing from the first look is, apparently, you don't know how many battles are there until you've actually finished the battles on the normal mode itself. So they have a coding where it's actually programmed to hide the locked stages until the requirement is met, which is pretty unique. It's the first time I've seen such programming for this game. So interesting, we are seeing quite a few things that are unique to this first anniversary event. And also, I have checked the new characters that have came into the game with the Grand Day event and the Familiar Chronicle episode release. So to start off, for the real side of the story, chapters 1 to 3 have been released, so we are looking at something that is similar to the Lafia and Ice arcs for Sword Orario, in that the release will be done periodically and will most likely be announced beforehand on Oraggio Zack. And apparently we are going up against a black beast this time, which has the same elemental and abnormal resistances for the black typhoon. It's like the same type, which is beast, and this time it has 1277 HP. So since this is single target, I'll choose single target attack whenever possible. Now, continuing on the conversation, right? The new characters that have appeared in the game are firstly Bell. He is a physical attacker. With the ability to increase his own power for one, and also is able to decrease the opponent's physical resist by 10% whilst attacking. It also has a single target attack, if I'm not wrong. Oh, right. As you can see, with we we've completed all the battles for the Orario landmark. So a new landmark has been unlocked, which is the plains. So I would say this time around, the Grand Day quest takes an approach more of a landmark version of the short adventurer stories, because short adventure stories too are unlocked immediately, so you don't have any item requirements, which is essentially the same for the Grand Day event. Okay, this killer ant is very weak against fire and ice with minus 100% resistance, and earth, wind, light, dark, thunder it's minus 50%. For um, status abnormality resistance, it's not weak against everything except charm, which it doesn't work. It has 609 HP. So pretty much just spam magic and it will work. Okay, so there's black cyclones. But with this, it actually makes me wonder how many landmarks are there for the first Grand event, like the first part. Well, continuing on, after Bell, we have Eyes, which is a anti Gareth character because all her attacks are single target. I'd say the abnorm the stats are pretty much the same as normal monsters from the dungeon. Yeah. Alright, so back to Ice, right? She's pretty anti-Gareth because of all her single target attacks, so taunting her will actually make your Gareth's situation worse. Because for one, she can reduce she can increase her own power by 75% whilst attacking, and is able to decrease the opponent's power by 30%. And if I'm not wrong, she's also able to decrease the opponent's physical resist. So pretty anti-Gareth, I'd say. Then we have Lafia. Oh, okay. interesting. So the grasslands only had 2 battles. So next up is Lafia, which is a fire elemental mage. All her attacks are AoE, and she has the ability to increase her own magic while doing a fire AoE, decrease the opponent's magic resistance by 10% whilst attacking all of them. That's as far as I remember, actually. The other one is fire attack, but if I were to guess, it is basically a power AoE attack, I call it, where her magic increases when she uses the attack, and it deals a lot of damage, basically. Other than that, we have Ryu from Familiar Chronicle. She... Oh, okay. This is very interesting. So from the forest we did one battle, and then the battle goes back to the grasslands, and the story mentions something about being split apart. And the next battle says Dance of the Hero, or Hero Dance. This is becoming an interesting event. Alright. Very interesting. And we are getting new drop items. The one was paper with powder. The other one is a solid lump of black powder, it seems. Yep, so Ryu from Familiar Chronicle, right? She's an all-wind character, the second to come to the game after Onzen Eyes. So wind is becoming a plausible theme slowly though, because there are only 2 characters, but they're pretty powerful on their own, and is an asset to any team, any magic teams, but especially Ryu, since she's a very OP version of Kino, because her AoE, one of them is able to inflict 30% reduction in power and magic to all opponents, way higher than the collab event Kino. Yes, that's unfortunately how much I remember, because the attack power reduction was so memorable. The other unique thing I remember seeing was for eyes. She actually has 100% resistance to poison, which is very interesting because it's the first time I'm seeing such an ability, and I feel, oh, okay, another landmark has been unlocked, which is a nameless village. And this time we are in the shoes of Ottar. Yeah, but for the poison, right, it's something you want on the eyes from Poem of Growth, more for preventing her from healing, but I guess it's not really needed now due to the AI settings where you can instruct the AI to focus on AoE attacks. Though the thing that you need to know is that the options for the AI is not absolute. The AI will follow the specified option as best as possible, but it does not always go that way. The new landmark's called Fallen Village of the Elves. And it says the fall of the elves? The story, well, it really is starting to become quite dark. Ooh, this time we have Asfi, Lune, Belle, and Lily. Pretty interesting combination. Well, right on to the new assists, we have Hestia, which is given to everyone who logs in after the release of all the Grand Day, the Record Buster, etc. events, which is 19th of June, 11 a.m. Japanese time. It runs all the way to 10th of July, as covered in the campaign details. So the new Hestia, it seems my reading was off. Instead of increasing all the strength or power or increasing magic, it was instead a status abnormality negation once for the whole team, which probably goes up to twice should you make her level 80 limit break 5, much like Bard Aina and Detective Chloe. Right, it's just like any whoa. Alright, I thought the name changed, but it isn't, so continuing on, we are fighting a very big cyclone this time around. Well, with this new Hestia, the arena meta probably stays the same, with physical attackers taking most of the top spots. But I would say people would concentrate more on raw attack power since everyone has the S tier already. Unless you're determined to go with pure pure abnormal status abnormality team. And for the assist meta for PvP, it's likely it will change to be more focused on offensive strategies